We There we go. We are live. We are live. We are live. I don't think anybody here yet, but I started the show and I talked to myself.
And then they just come in, huh?
Yeah, yep. I wasn't supposed. It's 3 here now. I wasn't supposed to come in today, but
Uh-huh.
well, they're used to me on Tuesday, and then everybody's shopping, and then some people are at work and they'll tune in and somebody just jumped in, just jumped back out.
Well,
So,
I done scared somebody off already,
nah,
man.
you
I'm
didn't scare
sorry.
nobody off. No, they what they do too is they jump between lives too,
Streams.
because a lot of us are on live, especially at 5 o'clock. A lot of people go on live, and then this is the holiday too. So, hey, Annette, that's my sister. Annette Gray is that's my baby sister. That's the Generation X.
Oh, okay.
She's the baby sister, but really she is. Hey, Crafty Leo, how you doing? I got my son on here too today, Crafty. She called me Mama Betty. I got my son Tom on here, girl. Y'all ain't met Tom. Hey, oh my God, D from Australia. I got Latchkey Gen Xer. Lady Kinsey, welcome. I haven't seen you for Aunt Conkin 1916. Oh boy, we're gonna have a good day today, everybody. Everybody coming in. Oh my goodness. We want to learn. Crafty Leo, you're millennial, I think. No, if she's like, she could be she's a millennial, I believe. Hey, Deborah. Deborah's my best friend. I'm so happy all of you are stopping by because, girl, I got a good person here. One of my best friends that y'all never met. Nah, and I'm not sharing him. And his link is up to the top, Latchkey Gen Xer. And as we go in later on, I'm going to talk about how we met. And I'm not, hey, Steve. Steve is a baby boomer. Steve, I got a Generation X up here. You know, we raised them, honey. Steve is a
We raised us.
he's a baby, yep. He's a baby boomer. Butter Roll Boutique. She crocheted dolls, beautiful dolls. Thank you so much. I got 10 people in the house. I got Latchkey Gen Xer. Most of you don't know him, and that is so good. He is my secret. And even if I went off YouTube, I'm not letting him go. Okay. He can't go anywhere. Annette says, my sister, allergies acting up, took a Zyrtec. So Anna hits me wasted. I tell you what, Generation X's, y'all take more medication than us baby boomers. Y'all seem to have more aches, more pains.
That's because we were free to just get in the medicine cabinet wherever we wanted to. All our parents was at home, was at work, nobody to stop us.
Yeah. That's what. See, he's telling it. That is so true. Yes, D, the secrets. D is from Australia. She stays in the area my son stays in. So it's 4 o'clock here. So it's got to be about 7 or 8 o'clock where D is in the morning. Yeah, it's something like that. But D is always here. Always. Even when the storm came, D stayed with me. I stayed on him 5 hours. D didn't leave me. D, do you ever see Martin around? Remember Martin, my moderator? I don't see him anymore. I don't see Martin anymore. He used to be here at 8:20 a.m. That's what time it is there. So yeah. Hey, Jamie. Jamie, you've been around today. You just didn't see me. Jamie is everywhere. I think you might be the only one that don't know Scratch and Pete, huh, Latchkey Gen Xer? Scratch and Pete.
I've been in some of your streams. That name's familiar with me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Listen, I've seen you communicate with Pete.
Listen to this. Listen to this Generation X. I got X after 34 years of nursing, turning people, pushing wheelchairs and stretchers. Lifting people on my knees and shoulders would be shot too. Oh, that's who is that? Oscar, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Oscar.
Oscar. Oh, I'm
He's
push up.
gonna be involved some kind of way, that's for sure.
Oh, that's good. Then she's talking about kept you and Colin company. Yep, and my palm tree. I am so happy everybody is here. Y'all get to meet my friend Tom. He is Latchkey. I think that was the name too. When I saw it, I'm like, Latchkey. Oh, because those kids did have them keys around them necks. Did you have a key around the neck, Tom?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
My son,
Yeah,
my
I let
oldest son.
myself in the house.
Uh-huh.
I was the first one home from school, because I was the youngest. I
Okay.
had two sisters older than me. By the time I was in elementary school, they were in junior high. So when I was in first grade,
Uh-huh.
I was able to, come home, let myself in. And I had to wait on them to get home. I had like an hour and a
Okay.
half before they got home.
Okay. And my sister, that's 13 years, my brother, I didn't know they had a key. See, I was married by the time they kind of came along. So, hey, Lynn, Life Lessons, how are you doing? MLW Fisherman, how are you doing? I am so happy all of you are here. And I have Latchkey Gen Xer here. And I'm gonna give it about 5 more minutes and we're gonna get started. I got some good old questions to ask him. But I want to know about y'all weather. How cold is it supposed to get on Christmas Day? What about you, Tom? How cold?
It's supposed to be in the teens here, which is, they saying it's a historic low, the lowest it's been in 30 years here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's supposed to be in the teens.
Oh my goodness.
That's going to be real cold.
That'll be
we
Sunday.
live in subtropical climate up here. We're not used to that kind of cold.
Not me either. Florida, we get down in the 30s. Jacksonville probably in the 20s, where my sisters stay. Crafty Leo stays in Georgia. So is it supposed to snow in Georgia, Crafty Leo? And I seen Red Dirt come in. You slid right on in, Red Dirt. She got that accent like you, Tom. She talking about, don't y'all be picking on my... She is a
what
talk.
Accent?
She is a talk. I know. Isn't that weird? Here we all stay in the US of A. We got all these different accents. Where did that accent come from, though? Is it just that people come from a different... Where did the accent come from?
I don't know.
Tom saying North Carolina. It's mixed up with something. Somebody came along and it just that accent, probably a bunch of families stayed together and they had an accent from another country and it just took on. Never thought about that one, did you?
Well, it's regional too.
Yeah.
Like, different parts of the United States, people talk differently. Like people from Boston have.
Yeah, they do.
They
do. That's what I'm saying.
Accent from everyone else.
I never thought about that. My sister say, where you from? North Carolina. I never been to North Carolina or South Carolina, really. And Lady Kenzie says she's going to be lurking. I'm watching Lee and Haley, and we supposed to have ice and cold tomorrow. Ooh, I don't want to know about no ice, and I don't want to know about no cold. I just don't think in Florida it needs to be cold. And God forbid don't snow because we don't know how to drive in the snow. Tom, you know how to drive in the snow? Tom?
I don't know. I don't drive in the snow.
What if you had to?
I don't drive in the snow now. I have had to do it, but I'm not good at it.
Lady Kenzie says she likes the UK and Australian accents. I like the Southern accent too. We all try to mark it a little bit. I don't know what my sister, she said she was guessing, I guess, because she wasn't listening between South Carolina and North Carolina. is what it is. And I am so glad. And again, we have Tom. His name is, and he's Latchkey Gen Xer. He is my child. He's never going to leave my life. Oh, listen to my sister. I drove in the snow. Okay, you drove in the snow. What we care? It is Scottish and Irish. Oh, she telling you red dirt, honey. Cause she said it is Scottish and Irish. Brought it to the Appalachian Mountains where our accent originated from. Tom, Google
Sounds
it.
about right.
It does. I know it's got to be mixed up with something.
That sounds right. Yeah, I definitely got Scottish and Irish background.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was, hey, Patrick, thanks for coming. I'm sure it was a closed off community too. I bet you it was way back in yonder. I bet it was closed off. Okay, I'm going to get on here with Latchkey Gen Xer. Tom, my first question is, how did you get to YouTube?
Well, meditating.
Can y'all
I got a meditating.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a meditating channel out there. And some of the guys I was meditating with already had YouTube channels.
Oh, okay.
So they talked me into starting my own. And that's how I got involved in YouTube.
Oh, okay. Okay. And then y'all will not believe this, but what is your channel about now?
Oh, this is a variety channel, but right now I'm using it, as a weight loss channel.
Yep. He does it daily, every day. He might miss one or two. But okay, so tell us a little bit about the weight loss adventure. Just a little bit of where did you start from?
I started out as a New Year's resolution back on January 1st at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was weighing 328 pounds at the time. And I have dropped 80 pounds since.
Yay! I didn't know it was 80 pounds. I honestly didn't know it was 80.
I mean, I still got more to go, but
yeah, but still,
I've come a long way.
A long way. If y'all see that metal detector, you really that is phenomenal. And he's not a traditionalist on weight loss. I can say that. Sometimes I don't know what Tom be doing. Tom, what are you doing now? Right today.
Right now, I am taking a break from until after Christmas Day. That's what I'm doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
this week, I've pretty much let myself go, but that's going to stop, after Christmas Day.
Okay.
But you've kept up with me a little bit. Throughout the holidays, I let myself go a little bit, because, I might not be here for the next one. So I'm going to enjoy this one while it's here.
My sister said congratulations, and Crafty Leo say congratulations.
Thank you, Crafty Leo.
Yeah, she does keto, but she's a little pregnant right now.
Yeah, so I was a part of that live stream when you talked to her.
Yep. Intermittent fasting and a little bit of everything. Dee says my sister was hosting Christmas this year, but she is COVID positive yesterday. Okay.
Oh, it's a lot of it going around.
A lot, people. And just because you had it one time, you can have it 2 or 3 times. I've started back masking up. I just don't want to get sick. I took the dog to the vet today. I was the only one who had a mask on. I just don't want to get sick if I don't have to, so everybody's saying congratulations on that weight loss. It's really 3 of us, and Tom has been most successful, and he the one had to lose the most, and I'm the one that had to lose the least because Tiff get fit. She's working today, and she would be here, but it's 3 of us, and I call us the 3 Musketeers. And let me tell you, Crafty Leo, I'm talking to you now. Girl, we was doing, I still do intermittent fasting, but we was doing intermittent fasting, but we was doing alternate day fasting. Never, ever again. That's all I got to say. I will never do, I'd rather just not eat.
I've done it once or twice since then.
I know. And you ain't asked because you knew I wasn't going to do it. It didn't work. It didn't work. But you lose a couple of pounds, but it's like, it's not worth it. And we did it for what? About 2 weeks. It wasn't a week. It was longer than a week, Tom. I didn't
we did a 2-week stretch.
So what I'm back on is the my typical intermittent fasting, what I started 6 years ago, where my window is 3 to 8. And it's going to be a slow weight loss, and I accept it. I accepted it the last time, and I need to accept it again because it works the best for me. Now, one thing I can say, Tom says is so true. You're going to have to cut somewhere. Calories in, calories out. So I can say I'll eat what I want, but I know what that means. That's going to be portion control. So, Tom, what do you say about that? About you got to cut somewhere?
I say there's not a diet protocol, and I've looked into it for years, where they don't talk about some kind of cutting back or cutting down.
Yep.
Whatever diet you're looking into, at some point, if you're saying that you're not losing weight, them experts are going to tell you, well, you're eating too much.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that all diets have in common. You've got to cut back somewhere.
Yep, you got to cut back. And I think, too, people don't want to feel the hunger.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, they get hungry.
You got to get used to being hungry in order to
and it's not really a bad thing, getting back, but just getting back, because I'm just getting really back into intermittent fasting. And I think people want a fast fix. They want it fast. And I used to want that because I dieted all my life. I really wanted that fast fix. And now I know my way and everybody's way is different. And I just know my way is the slow way. And it works better for me. And if I wouldn't have go ahead.
I like that way. I like doing the intermittent fasting with some calorie cutting and eating whatever I want to. Is just keeping up with the calories and making sure I eat that under that amount.
Okay. Listen to D. D say, D, when did you start that though? D say, I don't eat till 2:30. Breakfast makes you fat. I say calories.
Yeah. OMAD and 2MAD. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And you know what? It's good for your body too. Your body don't have to digest food 24 hours a day, instead of, it can do other things to, then you won't have that. I remember you say your tummy feels better when, I don't know if you were doing something then, I don't forgot, but I know you say your stomach felt better.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was. Somebody say chili. D, she stays in Australia. She said chili works for her. Increased metabolism naturally. It's all the pepper and all that good stuff.
I like me some good chili.
Okay, D say how I look at it. I'm gonna say Crafty Leo, breakfast your first meal no matter what time you have it. Yep, break fast. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
I think that eating cutoff time is important. I think you should at least cut it out about 5 p.m.
Yeah, mine is 8. And I would love to do it earlier. I really would. But right now I'm going to stick with the, now D, you don't know, you know how to figure out kegs, my child up here. I used to be 105 kegs. Now I'm 65 kegs. I know that's a big difference. I don't know what that is in poundage. D, did you do that just with intermittent fasting? So somebody say they're making chili tonight. Hey, oh my God, I got Drew here. He's from Australia. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Wave. I got all my Australian people here. My goodness. They said I work an afternoon shift since 1996. Okay. I tell you, when we get to talking about, losing weight and stuff, and what everybody, I remember when I used to go to the gym before the pandemic, we always talked about the people starting in January. Hey, Tosh. Always people starting in January, and then probably by January 5th, they all gave up that resolution. You're just one in a million, though. You know what I mean? To continue on. Because most people don't continue on.
Right. And that's what I had in my head from the get-go. I was gonna, stick to this, all year. Because I see that a lot. People don't stick to that resolution. Yeah. So I figured I'd stick to it this year. I was trying to lose 100 pounds. It doesn't look like I'm gonna pull that off. But 80, I'm not gonna.
Next year you will.
I'm not gonna discount that as not a victory, y'all. I mean, I'm telling you what. 80
I remember when you were talking about 50 pounds. That's talking about 80 now. When you said 80, I'm like, oh my goodness, I really missed a lot. But Tom,
so my new resolution is gonna be to finish this up.
Now, when I did Weight Watchers years ago, like I could always get to where they said I should be, but I could never get smaller than that 150, and I always feel heavy at 150. And and what I want to say, I studied that too, was only 5% of people keep the weight off long term. 5% keep off the weight that they lost long term. And they showed that it was affluent white females. Maybe it done changed now, but that's what it was when I they did. It was a study shown that we've tried them all. Well, I know I have. I ain't never did Jenny Craig. You ever did Jenny Craig, Tom?
No. I've never done that or Weight Watchers. I've done keto and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Atkins, done Atkins before. I've been around for a while.
Yeah. Now, when I went to Weight Watchers, I mean, I really stuck by it. And it was like, I think I was like 215, something like that. And it took me about 8 months to get to 150 where I still, and that's where they said, but because of the body fat, 25 or whatever. But I still feel heavy at 150. Always have felt heavy at 150. But it's all about being healthy, because you can't continue on, hey, Al, continue on to, and I have a best friend too that she's older than me. She's, she will say she's overweight, but she's healthy. So I guess it isn't always about weight. So what do you think about that?
I'm not sure, but the thing that helped me the most was to calculate my calories, an estimate of how many I could have in a day. Try to stay under that by a good margin, and practice intermittent fasting and cut that off, at a certain time.
I just hate. I'd rather do the portion thing. I think that's why Weight Watchers work for me too, because of the portion control is what it was. Oh my God, I got Shane here. Oh my God, I got the Canadian here. The Canadians, they're definitely gonna have snow. Okay. Now we talked about the weight. Now we're gonna talk about the different generations. That's what I came here for. I know y'all all want to still talk about that weight. Look at, I can put two kegs on in a day. Oh, she just eating something. Yeah, I can too.
Me too.
And it's okay.
And I do it all the time, and I lose it back down.
Okay, she said 2.2 pounds equal 1 kilo. Is what it was. But honestly, when I was serious about intermittent fasting, I really didn't have any fluctuations. I just, stayed basically where I was. It took me 3 months though to see the first pound loss. So Al said he's been on keto for 2 years. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I was on it successfully for an entire year.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It was a year.
Yeah.
Well, maybe a little less than a year, but almost a year. Probably something like 10 and a half months.
Yeah. Shane, how's the new dog doing? He got a new dog. Yeah, mine 14 years old. Okay, we're going to start talking about, Scratching Pete here. Scratching Pete. Look who I got here. Do you know Latchkey Gen Xer? Scratching Pete he everywhere. He is everywhere. Oh my goodness. Okay, I want y'all in the chat to tell me if you are from the silent generation. That would be older than me. Baby boomer. Are you a Generation Xer? Are you a millennial? And what's the other one? ZY? Generation Z is after 1994. So I don't think we have any Generation Zs in here. But the first thing I'm going to say is, I don't know why I didn't think we raised millennials. I don't know why. I knew we'd raise, Generation X's. And I have an X and I have a Y. And they are very different. So, what would you say? I asked my baby son this. He couldn't answer, but I'm sure you can. What do you think is some differences between my generation and your generation? Can you think of any difference? What about church going?
I think we basically fall in the same on church going for the generations.
Okay. So that probably would be the millennials maybe kind of fell away a little bit, you think? It fell away somewhere.
I know my grandparents, the silent generation you talk about, they had a lot to do with my upbringing as far as religion goes.
Okay. And see, by the time I came along, my grandma, them had passed. So I really didn't know the generation before my mom. So I only know my mom generation. Now I know those generational people, they were savers too. My generation, I don't know if they learned the bad habits from us, but we got to where we wanted everything. We wanted our children to have more. We wanted our children to have better. So we got in debt. And my mom, them, they, if they had a credit card, they paid it off the same month. But I'm telling you, they made little money. If you think back with your grandmas and stuff and those older people, they socked away money.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, all their homes were paid for. And my parents,
that's what I'm saying.
They struggled to pay for theirs.
Yeah. All of them was paid for. My generation, and I think, I would say my generation, we really missed it. I put a lot of fault on baby boomers, and I talk to other baby boomers. Hey, confident, self-reliance, man on a mission. I think he got the accent too. But I do put a lot on my generation because the generation before mine, my mom, them, they could retire. You know what I mean? Their houses were paid for. They had money socked away. But my generation, they can't. The majority of them.
Like my grandparents had a earlier retirement age than what we have now. It's now, I think, 62 at the earliest, but I think they were able to retire in their 50s, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, really? Well, a lot of them had the jobs. Like my husband is one of them. He had a job at GE. If he had, because they were
where my mother worked.
She really? That's why. Oh, really?
And she retired from there.
Okay. What happened was they were leaving Florida. So if you've been there 25 years and you was 50 years of age, you could retire. And he retired at 50 and never went back.
Nice.
I know. I know he's had a great. My sister always say, "Oh God, that was me," but yeah, he was, and they could retire earlier though, because like I say, the home and they lived off of less.
My mother retired early with GE. Now GE was a Fortune 500, and they could afford to let you go early with full benefits.
I know he had full
and
benefits.
pensions. Man, I'm talking about money.
I know, and that medical. Oh my God, they threw me off when I turned 65. Oh my God, the teeth and everything. I didn't have to pay for crowns or anything. They were ready to throw me off at 65. But now I think full retirement is like 67. 67. They went up past 65. I do know that. It's either 66 or 67 now. They say because people are living longer. So
is that what it is? I don't know about that.
I know. That's what they say. People are living longer. But one thing I'm going to say too is the government got it all figured out. They got it all figured out to the T. They do not consider you a long lifer until you're 65. Because they say most people don't make it to that age. And usually people that make it to 65 tend to live longer. Not everybody, but they got it all figured out now. That's why they had it at 65. My mom she got her Social Security 1 year. My sister might have got it 1 or 2 years, even if she got it a year. So I know a lot of people that didn't make it through to get it, Mm-hmm. So if you can retire early in the chat, retire early. retire early. Okay, I was looking too. They said that that y'all don't like negative feedback. They were saying that was one of the things that y'all don't like negative feedback. I don't see where that seems like that'd be more of a personal.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's more of an individual thing, I think.
Yeah. Now, I know even though you have special needs children, but I know you see other people. Now, I know, do you think that y'all raise y'all kids basically the same way we raise y'all? Now, you can look around. What you said?
I don't think we did. I think we coddled our kids too much. I think Gen X coddled their kids too much. I was afraid to push them out of the nest because I see a lot of Gen Zs hanging around their moms and dads all the time. Mm-hmm. And they'd be in their 20s and
I got some
not even holding down jobs and stuff like that. I think Gen X had a real problem with letting go of their children.
Now, I know basically my generation, kids were ready to leave the house because we basically said that if you stay here, you're going to pay some bills and you're not staying out all night. So they was ready to go.
Yeah, Gen X was so independent, because we had mothers and fathers both working. That was my case, right? So we were independent as kids. And we did fine growing up. I mean, we Gen X done some things that we created the technology that we're all communicating on right now. Mm-hmm. And but when it comes to letting go, I don't know what it is about this generation. Had a harder time with it.
I wonder because do you think because they think that we were too hard on y'all? That we pushed you out the nest?
I think it was more of, I don't think it was really the parental upbringing. I think it was, we had too much media going on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We were brought up with, television being our role models, calling the shots about how we develop into the next generation. You look at the media changes from the 80s to the early 90s, it's like they guided the culture to shift in a different way. Okay. And I think that had more to do with it than parental upbringing, was just influence through other sources. You got to think, we grew up with technology. I mean, we had things. Yeah. we had things at an early age, like cable television and stuff. Because I can remember in the 70s we had the 3 channels, and then we swapped over to cable, and then we had a broader view of the world through expansion, in media.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is what made us a little more clingy to our offsprings and stuff. I think it was brought on by that more so than parental upbringing.
Yeah, because
we were pretty much raised by the media.
Yeah, because
I don't mean like news, I mean like MTV. I mean there was a cultural difference.
Yeah, because I hear what they say is that the baby boomers we rule with an iron fist. That's what they said about us. We rule. I think because we knew what was out there and we knew what they was gonna have to go through. So if you coddled them, and it wasn't because the love wasn't there. Definitely the love was there, but we knew what that world had out there waiting for them. So yeah, but I do see, even with baby boomers, I can see them still holding on to their children. But it's not everybody, but your generation, I don't know. I think we caused it because I do. I think we caused a lot. I think we caused the credit card problem. We passed it on. But I see my sons did pick up some good habits. They pay them bills first before they pay.
I pay all my bills. I got decent credit. I mean,
yeah,
my home's paid for.
Yeah.
I'm 51. My home's paid for. So
yeah, good. That's
we did pick up some good habits from from our mothers, fathers, and grandparents. Gen X did.
Now I talk to my son, the millennial, the little confident.
If we could just push the young birds out of the nest, we'd be doing good.
We talk about the confident, cocky, the millennials. I raised one of those. I talked to him today, in fact. And so he was saying that we talked about owning homes, and that's so old-fashioned now. Archaic is what he calls it. So he was saying that it wasn't as important but I want to say as you get older, you're going to find out you might have a piece of something you can sell if, but at least home ownership is still, and I think most people know that though. Owning your own home. My sister didn't. Yeah, she didn't at first. And you know what? I kind of bought into it after a while. I'm like, ooh, because her income wasn't bad. And she was like, I'm like, yeah, that'd probably be nice to move around from apartment to apartment. Then you see, then she finally said that maybe she should have, did it. So that was another thing. But even like the kids and I was talking with my son too about bedtime. Nobody put their kid, who kids don't have bedtime anymore. And you better not bring it up either. You get your feelings hurt. Yeah, because kids can't really function on that little bit of sleep. They really, to me, they can't function on that. Dee said her grandparents lived to 93, 95, 96, and 98. Long lifers. I was in the vet office early this morning. I met a 41-year-old. So that would be a millennial, wouldn't it? 41 would be millennial. He said, cute guy. He said his life was already over. I know. I'm like, but I've heard that before. I'm like, you're only 41. He said his life. I'm like, what have you lived? He said it was, and my sons, I'm telling you, 2 different millennials and never met themselves. And then he said, if he make it to 60, he'll be fortunate.
Wow.
My son said the same. I asked him the same, and he said exactly the same thing. I said, well, when do you consider us old? He said he considered us old. He took his time about that. I think he was thinking about me. He said 70 years old is what he said. I beg to differ, but that's what he said, 70 years old. When do you think when you think about him being old, when do you think, Tom?
I don't know. My dad's in his 70s, and he metal detects with us, and he gets around better than us, and he finds more than we find when we're out there. I'm here to tell you what, I think it depends on the individual. I think it depends on how young you think you're gonna, or how long you think you're gonna last. That's what I think.
Yeah.
You can't slow him down.
I know. And let's see what Shane says. That's Shane. I thought I got it. I got a 14-year-old and another 29-year-old and a 28-year-old. Yeah, you're getting old, Shane. He's retired too, so that's a great thing. You know what? And I'm gonna get back on YouTube. Okay, you do YouTube daily.
Mm-hmm.
Do you enjoy it immensely, or?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for the pure enjoyment of it. I you know me, I don't push myself out there or anything like that.
Yeah, I
just kind of grow naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wants to watch, you know, can. And I don't worry. I just don't worry about the numbers.
And he's growing too. And it's amazing. Everybody on YouTube is different, you know. I'm retired, and I just think, you know, if I did it every day, they'd probably find me underneath the table somewhere. So, but that, you know, that is great. I just know, you know, a lot of people do burn out on YouTube when they, you know, do it a lot. So, and that was another thing. But do you have a goal with YouTube, or you just, you know,
do I have a what now?
A goal, you know, where you want?
No, I don't have a goal. I just take the camera with me. I turn it on. I talk to it, and I throw it on when I get back to the house. You know, and upload it. And call it a day.
You call it a day.
Whether it's a good video or a bad video, every day I put out something.
You know what? One thing though, I wish, as a baby boomer, what I wished I would have learned earlier in life was being an entrepreneur instead of working for people all the time. I didn't learn that till later in life, that you know, to have that entrepreneurial. I think millennials maybe have it a little bit more. I don't know about Generation Xers. I think they were thinking about it. My son works for himself. So did you tend to work for other people? I know you take care of the kids now, but before the kids, did you He's not doing anything, believe me. I'm so used to that.
I can't hardly hear you for all that squeaking.
What
was the question again?
Being an entrepreneur, you know, people working for themselves.
You know, if it happens, you know, it does. I don't care.
That's because he's a man of leisure, y'all. That's why.
If it does, you know, I'll go with it. But if it
Tom stays out, like, you got, what do you have animal wise? You have chickens and. Well,
a fox got our chickens. So we're having to restock on the chickens. Mm-hmm. Now we had our chicken pen, you know, we had it wired and concreted in the ground, you know, good. We thought we were good. but something got on that chicken wire and it tugged and tugged and tugged at it until it ripped it apart. We think it was a fox. But we're reinforcing with stronger wire. You know, we're gonna get more. We got one of the chickens came back home, but yeah, it got them.
It made it away.
But we still have all the ducks, and I mean, we're getting duck eggs like crazy. So,
what y'all do with the duck eggs? Do you use that for bacon, or do they use that for eating? Duck, because I've never had a duck egg.
You can do anything with a duck egg that you can do with a chicken egg.
They're so big, and they like this big.
they taste the same, but duck eggs have a richer taste. I mean, when you bake a cake or something with a duck egg,
yeah, that's what I heard people say.
That cake is more moist. I mean, it's just better. I don't know what it is. They say there's more cholesterol in the duck eggs. I think that's why.
Great friend, Farmer Freelance said, nice. I got a bounty hunter metal detector only out once this year. Well, you better get out there more and find some. So, did you get into the metal detector because of your father?
No, he got into it because of me.
So, how did you get started on the?
I seen one at the beach back in the 80s when we was on vacation, and there was a guy out there on the beach, and he was, you know, he had a sand scoop in his detector, and he was just scooping up anything from car keys to pocket change to whatever, you know, and I just followed him around, and whatever he was finding, I was into it at 11 years old.
He's like, I got some money.
It started there. And then, you know, I asked for a metal detector, but they're expensive. I never got one.
Really?
So it's funny that my dad's in the hobby with me now, because back then they were so expensive. There was no way I was getting
How much are they?
Oh, they're different prices. They're different prices from entry level to you know, expensive. It depends on how much you want to put into the hobby.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know someone, you know, who's into the hobby, you know, like if I was going to suggest one to someone, yeah, I would suggest a middle of the road type of detector for someone just wanting to get into it, you know, where they wouldn't have to spend a lot of money, but they wouldn't have to spend, you know, some money on a real cheap model, you know, that they would lose interest real fast. I mean, you got to kind of, you know, there's so many out there. You just got to kind of study them on. That's one good thing about YouTube. You can check all the different ones out on YouTube and see what people say about them.
Oh, okay.
But if anybody ever wants my opinion on one, you know, just come on one of my detecting videos in my channel and drop me a comment, and I will try to help you out as much as
Now, that's one thing I can say about the comment. His channel is pinned up to the top. Great Farmer Freelance says, I usually have a trail of kids behind me when I detect on the beach. And then they follow you.
I can see that. That's where you get the interest.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And then D says, Aaron detects he found gold yesterday. Woo. Woo. I know I've seen the silver, what you found. What else have you found out there, Tom? I know the silver coins, and
I found stuff from the 1700s, the 1800s. All kinds of silver coins, jewelry, rings, you name it. Gold is one of the things I don't find that much.
Probably a lot because people a lot of silver at that time too. You know,
I mean, silver, you know, it's a really high conductive metal. It's easier to find with a detector than gold. Gold, you know, is mixed with so many different metals. The signal of it ranges anywhere from the same as tinfoil all the way up until nickel iron, or it's different. It's so different depending on how it's made.
It's so amazing. The people in the chat.
Gold that's with us.
She says, you'll probably know what she means. We have a mine lab. What is that?
There's the mine lab, an Equinox, E-Track, or there's different brands.
So it's a metal.
Mine Lab is a brand of metal detector. They're out of Australia. The company's out of Australia.
And that's where they stay. Okay.
and they got different. I guess what would you say? They got different. They got different brand. Well, within Minelab, they got different brands. You know, like they got V-Trax, and they got your Equinox machines, and you got ones that specifically for gold. So I have to know the exact name of the detector.
Yeah. And then she said he bought a new coil yesterday.
Yeah. I've swung a Minelab Equinox for a while. The 800, I swung it for a while. Yeah. It's a good machine.
I could see that being a relaxing hobby. You know, it could be. I could see that with it being that. Now, when the pandemic came, did it kind of mess up y'all going out there, or?
Oh yeah, big time. Especially me, you know, because a lot of my detecting time depended on my children while they were in school and when they were in their day program.
Okay.
So when they were home with me all the time, that's kind of why I switched gears and went to Latchkey Gen Xer, you know, so I could, you know, because I miss doing YouTube more than I miss the detecting. So I started this channel, you know, so I could do YouTube. And, you know, whenever, you know, since I do this channel every day, whenever I go detect it, I just throw that in there on this channel now.
Okay.
So my detecting adventures all fall on Latchkey Gen Xer now.
Yeah. Because that's what's so neat is too with the internet. We must say how all of us have came together from all over the world, because I would have never met you. You know what I mean? Unless I came to North Carolina, but I'm sure if I saw you on the street, I don't know if we would ever, you know.
Well, actually, I'm in South Carolina.
South. I keep putting you in North, don't I? And that's where my family came from, up in South Carolina, really. And then they moved down to Florida. My grandma and grandpa. They were up, I forgot what part, but yeah, they that's where they moved from. And then they came to West Palm Beach. I still don't know the reason why, but I guess they just migrated down there. But one thing too I can say about my grandfather, I guess he did have the entrepreneurial, because he had 2 fish shops that he owned, you know, to make money. So I guess, hey, Emily, how you doing? I got Tom here, Latchkey Gen Xer. I remember that now. I used to get all mixed up with that. But yeah, we talked a little bit about weight loss. Everybody like talking about weight loss. A little bit about metal detecting, a little bit about different generations, how I feel the baby boomers, we done messed up the world. I'll probably get somebody down in the car to say, we did. I tell people that all the time. We messed these folks chilling up. We made them selfish. We did. I don't think we coddled them. I just think we gave them too much. That's what it was.
Too much freedom. You gave us too much freedom.
You think so? I don't.
Oh yeah. As a latchkey kid, yeah.
Yeah, that would be true, because y'all have a long time to figure up a lie. Now that's true. Because I didn't find out a lot of things until after my boys were grown. A lot of stuff. Then
I think my generation was the last one to play outside until the street light come on. Then you had to be back in the house.
My son, the millennial, was saying that they were, because he did play until, you know, he was in high school. So maybe maybe the millennials are the last to do that. So now kids living on the internet for sure. And you can't control them. I don't care what any parents say. They're going to find a way around you because they're going to be smarter than you are. You may think they put up all those guards up to keep those kids, they figure it out.
I think it's funny how they try to paint a picture of the latchkey kids, you know, like, oh, it was so sad and depressing. They came home, they didn't have anyone. I enjoyed all that freedom. What are you talking about?
I know.
I would have traded that for nothing.
Those wasn't unhappy days. Believe me, for them. Just say you can come home and you ain't got mama there for 3 or 4 hours. Oh yeah, you gonna. But it's weird how we talk about baby boomers, and it's like we just skip over y'all, like y'all just a middle child, and then we go straight to the millennials. Have you ever thought about that? Because we never talk about Generation X.
So we just kind of, I guess we didn't. They say that we just didn't care, to compete for, attention, like the boomers and the millennials.
Maybe.
So we kind of,
maybe
was kind of in between, sandwiched in between. By the time we come along, we were in the workforce, and then technology took off to where it is now, and the millennials kind of came along, and then the boomers started retiring, so that they were the first ones in the chat rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
While Gen X was at work. Kind of put us on the back burner, but it's all catching up now. We're all getting out there now. But we invented the technology. That everyone's addicted to.
Yeah.
Gen X did do that.
Yeah, and I think baby boomers too, the fear of aging. I know in my generation we had the fear of aging. We're the ones started before the younger, but they're getting younger and younger doing those procedures though. That that
See, right now we're taking care of our parents as they're getting elderly, and we're still raising kids at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Those aging parents, because I got a friend now that's all wiped out from taking care of her. And let's see, Dee said, I made cakes to sell, mowed lawns, washed cars, helped out for money. My boys said, yeah, they did side jobs to make money. They did. But by 16, they were working. Were you working at 16, Tom?
I was. I was, but I didn't do it but during the summertime to start with.
Okay.
Yeah, I worked with my father, and my father done fire protection. He put in sprinkler systems for big companies. And he done the industrial underground part that put in the hydrants and the big pipe. Yeah, I worked with him doing that.
Okay.
My whole teen since I might have done it when I was 15 even.
Because I think
15 to 18.
Both my boys
every summer I was out there.
Worked at when they were 16. And I think too, they get a little bit of the work world, socialization and all of that. Because I know what my brother would be an Xer too. And he didn't want them to work. He wanted them, to do the schoolwork and stuff. But I just think the socialization and that really helps build them up than to not work at all.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. I enjoyed working now. I enjoyed making my own money. Especially working with my dad we work out of town in the summer, in around Georgia, South Carolina, and parts of North Carolina. We'd work. So we'd go out of town and I'd get not just my regular pay, but I'd get expense pay too. So we get me, my dad, and whoever his partner was at the time, we'd all get an expense check from the boss man. We'd all pitch in together and share a motel room. I always got the rollaway bed. But we take home most of our expense pay. So we have extra money along with our check. It was great.
Yeah.
So on the weekends, I had money to burn.
He had money. And then
it was probably a downfall too, because I wanted to go to work from that point on. School wasn't important anymore. I knew I could go make my own money.
Oh, okay. He said school was not important. And then Great Farmer Freelance, Shane says, I was spoiled. His mama spoiled him. See, kids know too. I got a job at a store. This is D at 15 years old. Yep. But let me tell you the funny story though. I started working when I was about 16 and I was going to school and my grades dropped and my mama made me stop working. She made me, I was doing, you know what? It was good in a way because I was doing other stuff too. Because I was going to Rosemary Avenue. This was a bad street in West Palm Beach. Friday nights, honey, I leave work early and we be gone.
I wasn't doing on Rosemary Avenue.
I wasn't mad about the job. I was just having a good time down there. You know, you just see everything down there. You know, kids just having a good time down there. But it is, you know, and I just think, I don't know. Where do you think the new generation is heading to? What do you think the young people are headed to? You know, I don't know if they,
you know.
I don't know.
I was out late the other night, and you know, my local town. You know, we used to cruise the square and park all along the sides, and we'd socialize. We'd get out and hang out. You know, all the way up until midnight. You know, I was out there the other night at 10:30. Everything seemed like it was closed, and there was hardly any traffic on the road around that square. It's like sad to me to see that. Like, what does the youth do now? Are they all at home, you know, talking to people across the country on the computer?
They get bored too. They get bored. That's another thing. They get bored.
It's like they don't have anything. I wouldn't trade what I had for whatever this is.
What they have now. That's true. They get bored. Listen to Shane what his mama did. Talking about his mom bought me a motorcycle for his 16th birthday. My mama had that kind of money. And even she did, she wouldn't have bought me She wouldn't have bought me no motorcycle. She would have bought me a bicycle.
I had to buy my own car when I was.
Yeah, me too. And my kids, whatever cars they got, they bought them themselves. They, you know, they really did. I've been on here, a little bit over an hour. Usually I stay an hour just to chit chat and all that good stuff.
Well, you got me. That's why you're going over.
Oh, but you know what? I always do that. I do. She said, Dee says, yes, sad. We used to meet up with your mates. Now no one is around. Yeah. Everybody's home looking at TV.
I don't get it. I mean, where do they go for fun anymore?
They don't. They're bored. I'm telling you, I know my brother's kids. They're bored. They're bored. They will tell you they are bored. Shane, just because it was secondhand, that don't take away the newness for me.
That's right.
He talked about it was secondhand.
Most of my first cars were secondhand, but they were new. In my eyes, they were new, right?
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, it's, you know, but yeah, like I say, the baby boomers, we did mess it up. Oh goodness. But also too, y'all, on my channel, I know I'm putting a video out tomorrow morning. But I'm saying with my lives that I'm gonna maybe not do another weekly live until about February, the first week in February. I'm still gonna put out videos every Friday, but you know that could always change. But I do need a little break, and January is gonna be that break. And but I'm still gonna put out videos once a week and try not to pop up in January. But yeah, it's time for just a little break for me, and I'm gonna miss it because I love being on here running my mouth. I love it. And I'm telling you, I got Tom's link pinned up on the top. I'm telling you, it's a great place to go, even if you don't want to lose weight. He'll chat with you. And like I say, and if you're interested too in, you know, metal detecting, you know, and your husband, D, great person to meet up with. And I promise you, you know, maybe he'll come over there to Australia one day.
I don't know. They got a lot of stuff that'll bite you over there, don't they?
That people always say that. D, is that true? They say spiders. I went over there. I ain't see no spider.
They got them jumper jack ants. That's what scares me.
But I ain't seen no ant either. I've heard that though. I've heard that maybe if you move out the outskirts of the city, that I only seen one kangaroo when I was there. One kangaroo. Everybody, out in the wild. I didn't see that. But okay, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Shane, D. Who else was here? Quite a few people. Elliot, Scratch and Pete. I thank you. I know Jamie was here. Crafty Leo was here. I appreciate all of you. Emily was here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. And I know I'm going to see all y'all again. And Tom, thanks so much for, joining me today. And don't eat too much.
Oh, I'm going to eat. It's on like Donkey Kong.
Okay, what's on Christmas Day? What we having for Christmas Day?
We do finger foods on Christmas. We try to change it up from Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So we're having stuff like sweet and sour meatballs, barbecue smokies, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, real healthy stuff.
Okay. I'm eating whatever in the house. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you so much. But thanks, everybody. And D, get you some coffee or tea because it's still early in Australia. And thanks again. And Elliot said, Merry Christmas, everybody. And don't eat too much. Okay. Don't you leave, Tom. I'm going to end the broadcast. But thank you, everybody, for coming. And I will see y'all again.
Nice meeting everyone.
Tom gonna be 20 pounds thinner when y'all see him again now. Okay? So 100 pounds, I'm bringing him back on here. 100 pounds, he's coming back. He's already lost 80. So he got to do 20 more. And when he lose them 20, I'll make sure it's 25 because we're going to make sure.
We better make it 30. That way I'll have 10 to play with, huh?
Okay. When he lose 30 more pounds, then we'll bring him on. Okay, I will see y'all later. Thanks for coming. Bye.
All right, bye.